With us is national trial attorney Michael Jaafar with us. Michael, and I know you have offices in Michigan, so it's good to have your insight on this case. And Michael Jaafar, let me ask you this. We've got the jury asking for if they can infer from the evidence that didn't come in, the state not calling Ethan, but also they didn't call James Crumbley. And the jury said they wanted to know about how he was able to get the gun. But can we talk about just specifically not being able to let Ethan testify? Do you think that that's going to be a problem on appeal for Crumbley if she is found guilty?
I don't know if that's going to be a problem on appeal. What I do think is going to be a big problem on appeal if she gets convicted was the fact that the judge did not allow her attorney with the motion she made today, relating to the testimony and the evidence, and the fact that there's some evidence missing and some evidence lacking. But I don't know if it's going to be on appeal that the prosecution just simply did not want to bring in another witness. But I do think that the fact that the jurors were asking that question, I think it tells you that they're leaning towards an acquittal. Here's my opinion on this case, right? When I was a young attorney, I shadowed an older attorney on a case that was receiving somewhat national attention, but definitely a lot of local attention. And he told me, look, let's just kick the can down the road and wait a few months until the media goes off the trail, and then we're going to be able to make a private deal with some probation and let our client was facing 25 years in prison at that point. What do you know, 11 months later, we were able to do a plea where there was just some probation, right? And it taught me something as a young attorney, which is when you have national media attention, the prosecutor's hands are tied, because these are people that are eventually might be running for office. They're public servants. They have a difficult job to do. In this situation, these jurors and these prosecutors are grappling with an issue that the whole entire country has been dealing with from a political standpoint, from a socioeconomic standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, the question of whether or not you can have a gun in the house, or the right to bear arms. I mean, this is just, it's a hot button issue, probably the biggest hot button issue, and in an election year. So in my opinion, the jurors are grappling with it, and so they're asking the question, can we infer anything by these witnesses being missing? In my opinion, if I was in that room, there's a lot of people in there that want to acquit and a lot of people who want to convince. At least one person who has a strong opinion that it's okay to have a gun, and at least one person in that jury that has a strong opinion that you should not have a gun. And when you overlay that with a kid in the house who took the gun and shot people at a school, I think this is probably the most complicated jury deliberation in the last 10 years for any juror. And I think when you see these questions, these jurors, these poor souls, are grappling with this issue, and at least one person in there is saying no and one person saying yes.
It's a complicated question. We don't envy these jurors to have to be inside of that room trying to figure this out. It seems like they're being very careful, very thoughtful. Just reading and breaking down their questions, they are trying to get to the heart of this issue. You've seen, I've only got 30 seconds, Michael, if you have final thoughts. Michael Jaafar.
Yeah, my car keys are on the counter right now. I have a bunch of kids at home. If one of them wakes up in the middle of the night and they grab my car key, they go out, they drive my car and kill somebody, the law would look at it differently, that if I have a 16-year-old who has mental health issues, who grabs a gun and goes to school and shoots somebody, it's just different. It's what my co-panelist is talking about is just foreseeability and gravity.